My SaaS company Drippy has a 40% free trial to paid conversion rate in an industry that is known for very low conversion rates and very high churn. And so as you can see here, 40% conversion rate starting from January 1st of this year. So this is just to show the average. It's not like we got one really good month. This is the average. And we have some months where it's actually way higher. Like we have some months over here hitting right around the 55% mark, which is really, really cool. And then obviously we have some months under the 30 mark, but on average, it's around 40%. And so essentially what this means is that per every 10 people that sign up to Drippy's free trial, 4 of them will actually end up paying us, when the industry average for B2B SaaS companies is anywhere between 15 to 25%. So what this means is that this system that I'm about to show you in this video will get you, or can get you, double the industry average free trial to paid conversion rates. And so that's why I'm making this video, okay? And the best part is that the system that we used literally hasn't been touched except for some very minor tweaks within the last 2 years, which is absolutely insane. And so in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to show you, the very simple 2-step process that has kept us for over 2 years now at a 40% average trial to paid conversion rate, so that you can do it for yourself and increase user activation and increase free trial to paid conversions, okay? And so the very first thing that we need to do, and if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my screen. My camera is up here, but I'm looking at my screen. And so the first thing that we need to do, let me just get rid of this, is we need to map out everything that needs to happen for our users to start the free trial and convert, okay? So I'm just gonna do this, and this really will depend on how you have your SaaS company structured, meaning, or how your sales process is structured, meaning if you don't have a free trial, this will be a little bit different. Maybe there isn't even a sign up. Maybe there's a sign up to free trial to paid, which is what we have, which I recommend. I mean, honestly, that's just what's worked best for us. But I know there's a lot of companies that go no sign up, like the sign up is a free trial, and then you go straight into paid after the free trial. So there's no sign up, or you can just do sign up to paid or just straight to paid, right? So just kind of play with this. This is meant to give you an idea for how to think about this. And then I'm actually going to show you like the exact flows and the exact like copy that we're using to get these conversion rates. So stick around till the end so you can watch that. So, and I'm just going to map this out for Drippy again. Feel free to play around with this. So the first thing is someone signs up. What do I mean by someone signs up? What this means is someone creates an account on Drippy. So if we go to drippy.ai, someone hits start free trial, and then the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to ask for their email, right? Like that's it. It's essentially just them opting in, and they're going to create an account, but they're signing up. Like as soon as they give us their email, like that's it. They've signed up. We have their email, and then we can start hitting them with emails. And so they sign up, and then we want them to start a trial, right? So they start a trial, and then what we need them to do is we need them to convert, right? So become a paying user. Now, there's obviously a bunch of things that need to happen here in order for people to actually convert. So after they sign up, what do they need to do? Whenever we're talking Drippy, so Drippy, just for context, is a Twitter DM tool, okay? And so that's why like that whole industry is known for very high churn, like just the outreach world in general, outreach SaaS in general. And so people sign up, people need to connect their Twitter account, they need to scrape leads, they need to start a campaign, and then they need to, they need to scrape leads, and they need to add those leads to a campaign. Within that campaign, they need to write scripts, and they need to have, we need to make sure that they have their Twitter account connected so that they can actually start the campaign. Then once they start the campaign, it actually needs to be a good campaign so that they get replies. And then once they get replies, they start booking calls and then they close deals, right? So that's kind of everything that needs to happen. But for the free trial, that's everything that needs to happen for the aha moment, right? Which is them getting their first couple positive replies coming in. So they sign up, they need to connect their Twitter account, and then they need to start a trial before starting a campaign. And so we need to do everything in our power to get them to start a free trial, meaning we need to get them to actually start a campaign, right? Because they need to start a campaign in order to start getting replies. And then once they start a trial, our goal is to is for them to receive as much value as possible, as quickly as possible, so that they actually become a paying user. So how do we make sure that they get to the value moments, right? So we need to think through like, okay, what can I do to really make people actually go through this process and actually convert? Like this is what you need to be thinking, okay? So for example, what we did, right, is we have the sign up, and then we started adding a welcome flow. So it's okay, sign up, and then the purpose of this welcome flow, then this is an email sequence, of course. So the purpose of this welcome flow is to get them to start a trial, right? So this welcome flow should cover everything that your users need to know in order to start a trial. Then once they start the trial, right, there's another flow called the started trial. I misspelled. I can't type. Started trial. And what is the whole purpose of this sequence? It's to actually help them become a paying user. And then once they become a paying user, then there's some other flows that we're not going to get into in this video, because we like everything we need to do for the purpose of this video is just to get them to pay right after they started a trial. And then there's obviously like some retention stuff that we can do over here. But if you notice, there's another one that I didn't mention, because this isn't actually a flow. Well, it sort of is. It's more so. It's not a traditional flow. It's more so a drop-off sequence. And so what these drop-off sequences is, for example, if you remember, I was talking about like everything that needs to happen between the sign up for people to start the free trial, right? So like each and every single step, like all the actions a user needs to take within the platform so that they actually start a trial, right? So I mentioned they were like, okay, first they sign up and then they need to add a lead source, right? So within Drippy, how you scrape leads is you take a lead source, which in this case would be a Twitter profile, and then you add it to Drippy, and then Drippy's gonna start scraping leads for you, right? So that's the first thing people need to do. So people first need to add a lead source, and then they need to save that lead source, and they need to start a cold DM automation, and then they need to start the cold DM automation. And so if they don't do any of these, or like, for example, let's say they sign up and then they don't start a free trial, they get an email there. Let's say they signed up, they started, or not the free trial, but they don't add a lead source. They get an email like, hey, I noticed you signed up, but you forgot to add a lead source. Here's a quick little video walking you through how to add a lead source. Then we have, if they did add the lead source, but then they didn't go through and they didn't save the lead source, another email. Hey, noticed you added a lead source, but you actually didn't save it. Here's a quick link so you can that you can click to go back into Drippy and actually save the lead source. And here's how to do it. If you need any help, here's a quick link for you to book a call with our customer support reps, right? So all this is stuff that you can do to actually get someone to take a desired action, okay? And if they need, like, offer all the help and then just walk them through everything. Obviously, you're gonna have UI that walks them through, and you're gonna have an onboarding sequence within the platform that ideally walks them through the platform for them to get to the aha moment. But these are all kind of accessories, or these are other tools you can use that when everything is put together, this is the result, a 40% trial conversion rate, okay? And so you can build these drop-off sequences. And not only that, but something else that we did is we figured out that, like, hey, okay, people that hop on calls with us just have a way higher likelihood of actually converting. Why? Because if they hop on a call with us, we can show them how to set up a good campaign. We can show them what a good script looks like. We can show them how to scrape leads correctly. We can show them how the platform works. And so the hypothesis was, okay, if more people hop on calls, more people will actually start paying us. And then that proved to be true. And so what did we do? We started implementing onboarding calls. On these and remember, this is a SaaS. It's not an agency, and everyone can get an onboarding call. And we really encourage people to take onboarding calls. How do we do that? Again, we have a drop-off sequence. So for example, if someone signs up to Drippy and then they don't book an onboarding call, they get an email. If they don't book an onboarding call within the first 15 minutes, they get an email from me. It's saying, hey, thank you for signing up. I appreciate, like, whatever. And I'll show you the email here shortly. And then it talks about how the majority of users that hop on a call get way better results. And then we prompt them to hop on an onboarding call. If they don't reply to that email, or if they don't book an onboarding call, an hour later, they're going to get another email. Essentially, we just try to get as many touch points, and we try to get them on a call as quickly as we can after they've signed up, so that they actually start the trial and then become paying users. You just want to give them the best service possible And you want to let them know of that service through these emails, so that they actually, number one, start the trial if you have a trial, and then convert because that's obviously what we want them to do. Because if you have a good tool, then you want people to actually use it because you believe that it's going to give them some sort of value. And so this is the exercise that I encourage everyone to do. Map out everything that needs to happen, and then once you have that, like, what are the actual steps? Like, get very granular. So, and this is the perfect example. Sign up, add a lead source, save lead source, add a cold DM automation, start cold DM automation. If they don't do any of those, they get emails triggered. Now, how do we think about what our welcome flow and what our started trial flows are actually going to say? Well, it's honestly really, really easy to do. So you just have to think about why these even exist. Like, why do people send welcome flows? Like, why are they even a thing? Like I said earlier, the point of a welcome flow, if you have a free trial, is to get someone to start a trial. And so you have to essentially just solve any issue before users have it through these emails. You have to answer any questions that you typically get before they even come up. So for example, if you know that everyone or a lot of people that you hop on calls with typically have, or people that sign up to your platform have trouble with some specific feature, or they don't quite know how to set up some sort of integration, then you get all those questions out of the way through these first email flows. Okay, so let me just show you the Drippy one real quick. So this is the Drippy Flywheel account, and Flywheel is a tool that you can use to actually get all these flows set up. First link down below in the description will allow you to, again, get these all set up for completely free. So the welcome flow is triggered by a sign up event. Then we wait for 2 minutes, and then they get a one-to-one email from me. And the subject is this on? And then the preview is how to print with Drippy. All right, here we go. And then we give them a warm welcome. It's like, hey, thanks for diving into the Drippy ecosystem. I'm Alex, one of the co-founders. And then I walk them through the next steps. So it's why we built Drippy. So just introducing myself. Hey, I'm Alex, co-founder of Drippy. Why we built Drippy, and then just the next steps that they need to take. So connect your Twitter account. And again, remember, the whole point of this is to get people to start a trial. So we want people to connect their Twitter account, then we want them to find leads, then we need them to launch their first automation. And if you're noticing a pattern, those are directly related to these drop-off events right here. And then get started now. So that is the first email that they get. That is 2 minutes after they sign up. Now they get another marketing email 1 day later. This marketing email, so 1 day later, they get an email, how to get results within 48 hours. Why? Because obviously, whenever you're selling something that it's like a lead generation tool, the faster someone sees results, the more likely they are to actually stay on. So we built the whole Drippy Accelerator program, which is designed to just get them up to speed as quickly as possible on everything that they need to know in order for the cold outreach on Twitter to be as effective as possible. So first we talk about offers, like, hey, why you need an offer built for cold traffic. And I actually built out a whole funnel that is linked in here. So they have a video, and then they have offers, then they have access document, and then they can get help down here. And then this document just walks through absolutely everything that they might need. So again, we're giving people the tools so that they actually get results. We're giving them the tools via email so that they actually get results and stay on for as long as possible. Then 2 hours later, they get the second one, which is like, hey, how to turn your offers into scripts. Then they get another one talking about how to set up their first lead list. Then we go into how to optimize their account. Then we go into account setup. This is the account setup one. Setting up your campaign. And then we have another email that just goes through where they can find us, right? So it's, okay, this is everything you need to do to get results as quickly as possible. And then it's like, hey, if you have questions about Drippy, we got you. Here's how to get help fast, okay? Apply to this email our support team, use the in-app chat box, and then this is a little GIF that is loading. Join our Slack community, watch our YouTube tutorials, listen to our podcast, or book a live support call, right? And then VIP support, premium users, if you have more than one account connected, you get VIP support within Slack. So this is our welcome sequence. Then we have our trial started sequence. So that whole sequence is just built to get people to start the trial, right? On top of that, we have the drop-off sequences. We have one drop-off sequence for people to book an onboarding call, and then another drop-off sequence for people to actually go through with starting a campaign, which is what we want them to do so that they get to the aha moment, which is getting replies. So the second thing we need to do, or the second actual flow, not drop-off sequence, is the trial started. So as soon as they start the trial, we hit them with a, hey, your 7-day trial just started. What gets people great results? So people watch our YouTube tutorials. This is what your free trial includes. Quick reminder, here's where to get help, et cetera, et cetera. And then if you're ready, upgrade early. So again, we are giving them all the help they need so that they actually see value. And then if they want to upgrade, because that's the whole point of these flows, to get them to upgrade, they can just reply to this email, or you can upgrade to the plan section in your account. Then we go on to the day 2, which is, hey, need help? Here's everything you can do. So again, just a bunch of support. That is, honestly, it's the biggest game changer, because most of the time you might think that it's super obvious, like where people can find support or where people can find you. But after like speaking to users, like 99% of the time, they have no clue where to reach you. And so that's why we've made such a big effort of like, hey, okay, just reply to this email, or hit us up here, or use the chat box, or book a call here. So we just give them as many ways to reach us as possible. Then, hey, track everything. This is honestly, this is a huge one. This is an expectation setter. So it's, what reply rates should I expect? Because an issue that we had was that, like, I remember there was this one dude specifically that had upwards of like a 10% reply rate to cold traffic, which is absolutely insane. The average is between like 1 and 3%. And this guy was like, no, I'm not getting any replies. And then we looked at his account and we were like, dude, you're getting a 10%. And the reason why he didn't think that was good was because he had a buddy that was reaching out to his followers, and he had like a 25% reply rate. 25% reply to your followers is good, but 10% to cold is like absolutely insane, right? And so we're just setting expectations here. So, hey, if you're under 1%, you really want to change it. 1 to 3% is normal range. Over 3, you've got a winner. So if someone sees this and then they have a 10%, they're not going to churn, right? And they're probably going to convert because they're like, oh, okay, this is working. So an expectation setter, super, super key. And then again, book a free 15-minute call to review your campaigns with our team. So again, support. We want to get them on calls as quickly as we can, because again, there's no SaaS companies offering one-on-one calls for support. Then we have just a case study in here, or there's a couple case studies in here, right? And then again, if you want my team, or this is actually a little bit of an upsell, because some people just want to do it themselves. Then we have, hey, pay for 5 years. So this is actually a great one. This is a very similar funnel that I built to this, where it, like, an issue is some people think Drippy is too expensive, right? So I was like, okay, how can I make sure people just see like incredible results as quickly as possible? And so what we decided to do is we built this, what we call the Drippy, it's called the Drippy Fast Cash Playbook. And so it just walks through a tactic that you can use to actually just pay for pay for Drippy for a very long time. It's very intricate, and everyone that's ran it has made money. And so that's why we throw it in there. And then another one, this is like super easy wins. You want to throw easy wins in here. And then another one in here is going to be our how lead scraping credits work, because that's a frequently asked question, right? And so we send them that. And then if they don't convert, there's obviously a churn sequence that we also hit them with, which I'm not going to show in this video because there are special offers in there. But essentially what you want to do with a churn sequence would go in here. So this would be if they don't convert. If they don't convert, then you hit them with a churn sequence, which is, for the most part, it is some sort of special offer plus a bunch of case studies. This is what it typically is, plus some sort of done for you aspect if you don't have one already, or if you didn't make it obvious enough. Because a lot of people will churn because they don't have time to figure it out, or they don't know, or they simply won't convert because they don't have time to figure it out. They don't want to do it themselves. They don't have anyone on their team that can do it for them. And so these typically work really, really well. And then you just want to make sure that you keep them in your newsletter unless they unsubscribe. And then you want to be dishing out constant value to your newsletter. If you can do it on a daily basis, then that's ideal. If you can't, then just at least do it weekly. And then you should be good to go there. And so that is how you can very realistically increase user activation through SaaS email marketing flows. If you want to get these set up on Flywheel, which I highly recommend because there really is no tool out there that will allow you to do these drop-off sequences, which have been an absolute game changer for us. First link down in the description for Flywheel. And if you need any help, we can get you sorted there as well. That's pretty much it for today. Let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate you for watching, and we'll speak soon. Peace.